April 1917. After nearly 3 years of trying to stay out of Europe's bloodiest war, the United States steps onto the world stage. What followed over the next 18 months would change not only the war, but the very role of America in global affairs.
The U.S. had tried to remain neutral, but Germany's decision to resume unrestricted submarine warfare, sinking ships without warning, threatened American lives and trade. Then came the infamous Zimmermann telegram, where Germany secretly urged Mexico to attack the U.S. if America joined the Allies. By April 6, 1917, President Woodrow Wilson told Congress the world must be made safe for democracy. America was officially at war.
The U.S. was not ready for a massive European war. The Selective Service Act quickly changed that. By the end of the conflict, over 4.7 million Americans had served. Factories retooled for war, Liberty loan drives raised billions, and propaganda posters filled the streets, rallying citizens to the cause.
General John J. Pershing led the American Expeditionary Forces, the AEF. He insisted U.S. troops fight as a unified American army, not just as reinforcements for Britain and France. By 1918, more than 2 million American soldiers were in Europe, providing the Allies with desperately needed manpower.
American troops first proved themselves at Cantigny in May 1918. Then came Belleau Wood, where U.S. Marines fought with ferocity and earned a legendary reputation. At Mihiel, the AEF launched its first major offensive and won. Finally, in the massive Meuse-Argonne offensive, over 1 million American soldiers pushed the exhausted German army back. This was the largest operation in U.S. military history up to that point, and it helped force the war's end.
Victory came at a heavy price. More than 116,000 Americans died, roughly half from combat, half from disease, especially the 1918 flu pandemic. Over 200,000 were wounded. The war left scars on families and communities across the nation.
On the home front, the war reshaped American life. Women took on new roles in factories and offices, strengthening calls for the vote. Hundreds of thousands of African Americans joined the Great Migration, leaving the rural South for jobs in northern cities. Meanwhile, dissent was harshly punished. Under the Espionage and Sedition Acts, critics of the war faced jail time.
President Wilson hoped the war would lead to a lasting peace through his 14 points and the League of Nations. But back home, the Senate rejected the Treaty of Versailles. America withdrew into a more isolationist stance, even as its role as a global power was undeniable.
In just 18 months, America transformed from a reluctant bystander to a decisive force. World War I marked the birth of the United States as a true world power, a role it has carried ever since.
If you found this story of America's role in World War I fascinating, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss our next deep dive into history's turning points.